Jesse with Lanz Underground Solutions. All right, so we have descaled our pipe and we jetted it. That was in a previous video. Now we're gonna line it. All right, we have so many people that always wonder how the inversion lining works and how do we do it? Well, we're gonna break it down and give you a little glimpse of it. So we're gonna be using what we call a flex liner. It's a thin max flex liner that we use occasionally in pipes, but our cast iron is good, but now what we wanna do is smooth it up and make it like new. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna mix up some epoxy, wet out the liner, put it into our drum, and shoot it down the line. All right, let's get started. So what we're gonna use, and we always use at Lanz, is a 2-part solids epoxy that we love. We like lots of different brands. We have a lot here in the Lanz Lining Workshop. Today we're just gonna use some blue prime line for this project, for this practice shot. So it is gonna be a 2 parts blue, 1 part yellow, and we'll mix it up. So we'll get started weighing and doing that. Good. Now that we have this in there, now we'll mix it up. Okay, our epoxy's mixed. Now we're gonna pour it into the liner using our handy dandy funnel. And we'll set that back over there for drips. Now you'll notice that the liner will change colors. So one thing we do when we're lining is we always pull what we call vacuum. And what that does is it sucks all the air out of the line so that the liner can change colors. So as you can see, when the oxygen is sucked out and there's room for the epoxy, it changes colors right away, and that means it gets a good saturation. So what we'll do is we'll put on this little special rollout tool, and what each liner, the manufacturer tells us how many millimeters or inches to wet it out at to get the proper wall thickness. In this case, on this liner, it's going for a 6.5. All right, so the liner's wet out to manufacturer specs. People always say, well, how do you get it to stay in like a balloon? Well, we use a specific type of method called tails. All right, so we glue an end cap onto the liner, and it's a very flexible vinyl tube, and then when it gets to the end, it blows inside out. Now, the neat trick with the way we do this is once the liner's hard, and it is a pipe inside the old pipe, we can literally pull it off like a Band-Aid and let the air out. Okay, so our end cap that I just talked about is on. We are now connecting it to a pull rope, we call it, that controls the inversion process, and we're using the baby inversion tank today. We have inversion tanks of all different sizes to hold hundreds of feet, or just like this one will hold about 30 or 40. So we're using the little one today. And what we're doing is just taping our knot on our liner, on that end cap that I talked about. We're just taping that on to make sure that nothing comes loose, and we're good to go. All right, so now we will put a little oil on this. we want it to go down the line very well. We're going to put an end cap on it, and this is what we call an inversion nozzle. And as you can see, it cups over the end. We put a little tape on it so that we don't cut through it with our band clamps. Alright, so the liner's in, the tape's on, the clamps are on, and now we're ready for the moment of truth. So we're going to connect on our air hose, and everything is strictly regulated. So we're going to use air pressure. Everybody always asks, how do you get the liner to come out of the drum? We use air pressure. And what happens is I put air pressure to it and it starts to walk out. So here we go. And you will be able to watch it come right out of the end of that. Okay, so the liner's in, it's all ready, it's cooking out. In about 6 to 8 hours, it'll be hard and be done. If this is something that you think you need at your home, building, mall, house, hospital, doesn't matter where, we do all sorts of pipes. Vertical, horizontal, from 1.5 inches all the way up to 12 inch. If this is something you think you'd be interested in or you need, contact Lanz Underground today.